Hi everyone. Thanks for joining today's Salesforce CPQ online training from 𝗬𝗏𝗀𝗃. Today is just free demo. Okay. 𝗬𝗏𝗀𝗃 is our trainer. He will be take over for today's demo. Rishabh, you can take control and start the demo. Thank you.
Thank you, Kishore. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining today's demo. Let me start sharing my screen. So, Kishore, I'm getting this error. You cannot share screen while other participants. Okay. Okay. So let's start our demo. Okay. So before we start our demo, let me just give a quick introduction about me. So my name is Rishabh, and I have been working with Salesforce ecosystem for more than 7 years now. I have total 12 Salesforce.com certification that includes Salesforce CPQ specialist and revenue cloud consultant. Then what are the content that we are going to cover in our today's demo? So first, there would be a small introduction to Salesforce CPQ. What Salesforce CPQ is, why do we use Salesforce CPQ, what are the limitation of some standard code generation process, and how using Salesforce CPQ we can overcome those limitations. Then next thing we are going to check how do we configure Salesforce CPQ and how do we grant permission to Salesforce CPQ. Then we are going to give I'm going to give you a demo of how Salesforce CPQ process flow works, how we create account, then how we create opportunity, how we create products, how we relate code to a particular opportunity, how contractor is going to create it. So the complete lead to code process of Salesforce CPQ we are going to check. Then there would be a small overview of 𝗬𝗟. So 𝗬𝗟 stands for code line editor. So we are going to have a small overview of how code line editor works. Okay. So before we start our session for today, uh, are there any prerequisite to join this particular training, or are there any prerequisite to learn Salesforce CPQ? So basically, there is no such prerequisite. The only thing is you should be having admin 201 certification. Okay, it is recommended, but it is not mandatory. Like you cannot learn Salesforce CPQ, or you cannot give Salesforce CPQ exam until you have uh, admin certification. But it is recommended. You should be having admin certification or Salesforce basic admin certifications. Then the basic knowledge of Sales Cloud. So you must be having the basic knowledge of how Sales Cloud works, how we create opportunities, how we relate products to the opportunity, how price book works in Salesforce CPQ. That's it. That's the only basic knowledge you require, or only basic knowledge of Sales Cloud you require to learn Salesforce CPQ. Now, who is our target audience? So anyone who is interested in learning Salesforce CPQ is our target audience. Okay, there is no such requirement like you should be having these many certifications or you should be having this much of prior experience, then only you can move forward with this course. Anyone who is interested in learning Salesforce CPQ can attend or join this particular course. Now, what's the first steps toward learning? So, what you guys have to do, you guys have to create a developer org with Salesforce CPQ package pre-installed from the below link. So I'm going to share this link in chat. Okay. I'll just okay. So I just share this link in chat. If you open this link, The link will look like this. It will open a form. From here, what you can do, you can create a developer environment, or you can create a Trailhead playground. You just have to enter your first name, your last name, email address, your role, company name, postal code, and a unique username. That's it. That's all the information you require. Okay. Once you fill up this form, what you will get a Salesforce developer or a Trailhead playground on which CPQ package would be pre-installed. Salesforce CPQ data would be pre-populated. What I mean by that, so in this environment, Salesforce CPQ package would be pre-installed. You will not have to install the package again. There would be some training data, or there would be some CPQ data pre-populated that you can use for training purposes. And the last thing is the package license will be active for 90 days. So once you create a developer org using this link, you can use that particular developer org for the next 90 days. Now, let's come to some common coding challenges. So what are some normal coding challenges? So generating an accurate code is still a biggest challenge to many companies. So what do we understand by code? So code is a document that we are going to send to our customer that will have the information about products and services along with terms and conditions that we are offering to our customer. Now, generating a code is still the biggest challenge for many organizations. If an organization does not have Salesforce CPQ or does not have any online or cloud-based platform to generate a code, then it would be very difficult for them to generate an accurate code. Because what they would be doing initially or ideally, all their products catalog, like product information, pricing information, inventory information would be stored in offline file like Excel, Word, or PDF. Okay. So anytime if there is any change in a price of a product, or if a product is out of inventory, what they have to do, they have to update all the offline files. And these files would be distributed amongst the sales rep. So the changes needs to be done on all the offline files, and that would be a bigger task and cannot be handled in such an easier way. Then a second big problem is outdated information floating around. What I mean, let's suppose there is a pricing change, or there is a product that is out of inventory, but we totally have 10 offline files that we are maintaining, and among those 10 offline files, we were only able to update 8 files. So on the remaining 2 files, there would be still outdated information that would be around. And if someone creates a code using those 2 files, then there is a chance they can add a wrong product or an invalid product to the code. Then the third major issue is large product catalogs that is governed by complex business and technical rules. So let's assume you want to assemble a PC or a gaming PC for you. You went to a vendor and you have given your requirement. I want this particular motherboard. I want this particular graphics card. These are all the things that I want in my PC. Now the issue here is there can be a particular graphics card and there can be a particular motherboard that is not compatible with each other. Sales rep, it is not a scenario all the time that sales rep would be a technical person. So sales rep can make this error. Sales rep can create a code and add the incompatible products together. Now, when that particular code is finalized, what will happen? The code will go to the order fulfillment team to complete the order. When the order fulfillment team will start working on it, then they will get to know, okay, there is a coding error happened on this particular code. 2 incompatible products have been added to the code. Now, the code needs to be resubmitted to the customer after resolving the error. Now, there could be a revenue loss. The first thing, the loss that happened, that is time. So there can be 3 to 4 days that have been lost in this process. And again, there would be some financial impact of correcting this error. So this is again one of the biggest limitation if a company is not using any cloud-based software for generating a code. Then the next limitation is unorganized offline or email approval. So sales rep, they are not allowed. Sometimes the sales rep are not allowed to give a discount above than a certain threshold. Like sales rep can give discount up till 10%, but if they want to give discount more than 10%, then they have to get an approval. Now, in a scenario where there is no CRM or there is no uh, online platform, what sales rep will do, they will they will send an email to their manager asking for approval, and once they got the approval, then only they can send the code to the customer. This can again take a lot of time. Now the next one is the next challenge is inability of sales rep to self-service. What I mean by this, as I told you, sales rep will not always be a technical person. Okay, sales rep may not have a complete idea about all your products offering and how those products work. Now, in a normal way, it would be very difficult for sales rep to self-service. What sales rep will be rely on? Sales rep will rely on the customer. Like whatever customer is asking, sales rep will check, okay, whether that inventory is here or not. If yes, then they will add that inventory to the code. If not, then they will not add that particular product on the code. They will not be able to provide recommendation to the customer. They will not be able to work on cross-sell and upsell. Then documents generated manually with low consistency in branding and content. Now, if we are generating a document using MS Word or any other text editor, there can be a scenario by when there are the two documents, they will have slightly mismatch, regardless of in branding, in text format, in colors, in background shade, in watermark. It can be anything, but there are chances if there are two codes that has been generated manually using MS Word or any other text editor, there are high chances that those documents may have some inconsistency. Now, the next one is missed opportunity to increase deal size. What we mean by this, as I told you earlier, using if they are not using Salesforce CPQ or if they are not using any cloud-based platform or any online platform, they will not be able to provide recommendation to the customer. They will not be able to apply promotional deals. So there are a lot of chance where sales rep could have sold more product to the customer, but they were not able to because they are not using any online platform to generate a code. Then missing place to store data and report. What I mean by that, since the codes are getting generated offline, there is no single database where we can see, okay, how many codes have been generated, how many products we have sold, or how many revenue we have generated till now, and how much revenue is expected for the next quarter or next year. And the last thing is financial impact of making things right when the coding error is made. So as I told you earlier, if there is a coding error, to resolve that coding error, there could be a there could be a financial impact. Like a customer may say he don't want to move forward, or we might need to give some promotional discount to the customer. So there are financial impact of making the error correct. Now, how Salesforce CPQ will overcome these challenges? So the advantage of Salesforce CPQ is Salesforce CPQ allows our sales rep to focus on customer instead of pricing, uh, discount, calculation, and promotion. So what I mean by this, if we are using Salesforce CPQ, okay, sales rep will not have to worry about pricing, discount, calculation, and offering promotions to the customer. Each and everything would be taken care of Salesforce CPQ, pricing engine, and discount engine. What sales rep will have to do is the sales rep will have to get in a call with the customer and gather the requirements from the customer. That's it. That's all sales rep have to do. Sales rep will not have to worry about pricing. Pricing will be calculated automatically. If there are discount and we have set up discounting automation, discount will be added automatically. Calculation, what I mean, the price calculation will always be correct. Okay, sales rep will not have to do any manual changes. Like if we are selling a subscription product and for 30 days, customer needs to pay 100 rupees. But now the customer wants that particular product for, let's say, 200 days or 180 days. Sales rep will not have to do any calculation to check what would be the price for 180 days or what would be the price for 200 days. That calculation part would be taken care by Salesforce CPQ in the backend. Then the another advantage of Salesforce CPQ is guiding users through a consistent process of selecting the best product for the customer. Now, as I told you, sales rep are not always a technical person or will not always be a technical person. Okay, there can be a scenario where sales rep are not fully aware of all the products and their capabilities. Now, how they in this scenario, how Salesforce CPQ help selecting the sales rep the correct product for the customer? What we can do, we can set some questions for the sales rep. Sales rep are going to ask those questions to the customer, and based on the answer received by the customer, we can show the related product to the customer. Then the third one is enforcing business and technical rule to ensure complete and valid configuration. What I mean by this, as I told you in the start, like there can be two products, those are not compatible with each other. Like a particular motherboard and a particular graphics card, they are not compatible with each other. What we can do, we can create an option constraint or a product rule in Salesforce CPQ that will not allow us to add those products together. Then same thing, if we have a tax engine, like we are selling in, let's suppose we are selling in multiple countries, and for each and every country, like for India, for United States, for Australia, we have a different tax amount. Then same thing we can do, we can create a price rule, and for a different country, we can have different tax applied to the product. Then the additional or the next advantage is ensuring the latest products and pricing data is always available and used to prepare the code. What I mean by this, since all our data is in Salesforce platform, what we can do, if we make any changes in the price, that would be applicable for all the users. Okay, so whenever there is a pricing change or whenever there is a new product added, that product will be, that new product or that pricing change will be instantaneously available for all the users to use, because all the data is in Salesforce cloud. Then
hoping to go for 1.5.
Okay. The next advantage here is managing discounting and approval. So we also have a package called advance approval that we can purchase with Salesforce CPQ. That pack, we also have a standard approval process of Salesforce. We can opt out for that, or else we can install another package called advance approval, and that will help us managing discounting and approvals. Now, the last advantage is generating a dynamic proposal document with consistent branding, content, and structure. So I told you in one of the limitation of offline tool is if we generate a code document using MS Word or any other text editor, there could be a chances where there is some irregularities between the two codes. Like one code may have some inconsistency with another code document, but if the documents are prepared using Salesforce CPQ, the two documents would be identical. There would be no discrepancy between branding, content, and structure. All those two documents or all the documents those are generating Salesforce CPQ will be consistent in the branding and content. Okay. Now let's take a look what Salesforce CPQ is. So the Salesforce CPQ stands for configure, price, and quote. So CPQ software by Salesforce is a sales tool for company to provide accurate pricing with any given product configuration. What I mean by any given product configuration, there can be a different type of products that a company sell. There are hardware products like a mobile phone, laptop, television. Those are the hardware products. Salesforce CPQ is capable of handling those kind of products. There can be subscription product like subscription to Hotstar, subscription to Netflix, subscription to Amazon, or any other subscription product. Then, okay, then there could be a usage-based product where how much customer is used, based on that customer needs to pay, like a postpaid plan where how much messages customer has sent, how much data customer has used, based on that the customer needs to pay the bill. So any type of product configuration that you can think of, or any type of product configuration that is there in the market, Salesforce CPQ is capable to accurately price or configure those products. Then CPQ application takes into account optional features, customizations, quantities, discount, and allowing sales rep to quote prices quickly and accurately. Salesforce CPQ gives your team an easy to use software available on any device due to its cloud-based platform. And since it is hosted within the Sales Cloud platform, it will give you a direct link to your CRM to make the most impactful sales decision. Now, one more thing is here, to install Salesforce CPQ, you must have a Sales Cloud enabled org. Your Salesforce org must have a Sales Cloud. Then only you would be able to install Salesforce CPQ. Else, you would not be able to install Salesforce CPQ in your environment or in your org. So, Salesforce CPQ will only work on the Sales Cloud enabled org. Once it is installed in the org, it will enhance the functionality of your existing Sales Cloud. What I mean by that, once we install Salesforce CPQ, it will use the standard product object. It is going to update some fields on that particular product object, and then we can use that particular product object in our CPQ configuration. So Salesforce CPQ will use most of the native functionality of Sales Cloud, but it will give some additional features, or it will add some additional features to the standard Sales Cloud functionality. Now, what we are going to do in the configuration part of Salesforce CPQ, so we would be setting up products, bundles, and default add-on. Then we would be creating guided selling. So we would be guiding our sales rep to pick the products correctly. Then we would be, we can show related offers and promotions to the end user or to the customer. And then the last one is drive business and technical rules to govern product combination. So as I told you, we can create some product rule and option constraint that will not allow the sales rep or any other user to quote incompatible products together. Then what we are going to do in the pricing part of Salesforce CPQ. So we would be providing relevant price for products and bundles. We will be setting up discounting engine. We would be allowing some offers and promotions to the customer. And then the last one is let the system calculate the final price based on the user selection. So we could create some custom fields for tax, for location, shipping charges. And then based on the user selection, we are going to update the final price on the quote. Then what configuration we are going to do in the quote part of Salesforce CPQ. So what technically quote is? Quote is a PDF document that will provide the details of products, services, pricing, along with terms and conditions and legality and termination. So basically, quote is the PDF document that would be sent to the customer, and that would contain information about the products and services along with their pricing that we are offering to our customer. Then in Salesforce CPQ, what we are going to do, we would be creating reusable templated content. Then ability to sign electronic. So Salesforce CPQ provide us point and click integration with Adobe Sign and DocuSign. So we can integrate our Salesforce CPQ either with Adobe Sign and DocuSign, and after integration, what will happen? We would be able to send the code to the customer to sign digitally or sign electronically. So that is one more advantage of Salesforce CPQ. And then, as we discussed earlier, the quote or the code document generated using Salesforce CPQ, it will always uh, provide consistent and professionally branded codes. Now, let's check how do we configure and grant permission to Salesforce CPQ. Okay, so before installing Salesforce CPQ, are there any prerequisites? So yes, there are few prerequisites that we need to take care of before installing the Salesforce CPQ package in our org. So the first prerequisite is before installing the package, what we have to do, we have to enable email deliverability for all the users. The next thing that we have to do is we have to enable the chatter. Again, chatter needs to enable for all the users. Then we need to enable orders. So order is the standard object of Salesforce. So order object needs to be enabled for all the users. Then the next thing that we need to make sure is we have to enable the CRM content. So these are the few prerequisites, or these are the 4 prerequisites that we have to enable or that we have to complete before installing the Salesforce CPQ package in our environment. Then how do we configure Salesforce CPQ? Okay, so there are some steps on how we are going to configure the Salesforce CPQ package. What are these steps? The steps are mentioned here, or the steps are mentioned below. Before going to these steps, let me tell you how you are going to install the Salesforce CPQ package. So to install the Salesforce CPQ package, you cannot directly go to the app exchange and search for Salesforce CPQ and install the package directly. What you have to do, or what an organization needs to do if they want to install the Salesforce CPQ package, they need to get in touch with their account executive or Salesforce account executive, and then they have to let them know their requirement. Okay, I want to install Salesforce CPQ in my environment. These are the users for which I want the Salesforce CPQ package. What account executive will do? Account executive will route them to the technical team, or account executive will provide them a particular link. Using the link, the client or the customer or we can install the Salesforce CPQ package in the environment. Now, the link that I shared you, this link. If you create a developer org using this link, you will get the package pre-installed. You don't have to go to any link and install the package from there. But if you want to install the package in the client's environment or in a production environment, then what you have to do, you have to get in touch with the Salesforce support or the Salesforce account executive, and you have to get the link from there. You have to sign the pricing contract. Each and everything needs to be done officially. Then a link would be provided to you, and from that link, you can install the CPQ package in the org. Okay, now after installing the package, what we have to do, we have to configure the package as well. So to configure the package, these are the steps. What we have to do, we have to go to the setup, then install packages, and then we have to find for Salesforce CPQ package and click on configure. Then what we have to do, we have to go to the pricing and calculation tab, and then we have to click on authorize new calculation service. So what I mean by this, let me go to Lightning. Then let me, okay, I'm in setup here. I will search for install packages. From the install packages, I'll find Salesforce CPQ. I'll click on configure. Then I'll go to pricing and calculation tab, and then as per the document, I should be getting a button that is authorize new calculation services. But I'm not seeing this button here. The reason is this playground that we created using the link provided by Salesforce. So all the org that would be created using this link, those org will already come with new calculation services. So you will not see that authorize new calculation service button here. But in the client's environment or in your production environment, where you're installing the Salesforce CPQ from the link provided by Salesforce, after installing the package, you will get a button here, authorize new calculation services. Once you click on that, new calculation service will be authorized. That button will disappear and this use legacy calculator will be unchecked. That is if you are doing it in the production environment. But here, the org that we have created using the link provided by Salesforce CPQ, we don't have to do the same. The new calculation services will be automatically enabled in our org. Now, what happens when we click on, or when a user clicks on authorize new calculation service? Then Salesforce CPQ creates a token for the user. Then Salesforce CPQ uses the token and user combination to communicate with the Heroku service that manages asynchronous calculation using the JavaScript code calculator. If the calculation service has not been authorized, org admin will see an error during the upgrade or installation of Salesforce CPQ. So what happens when a user clicks on authorize new calculation service? Basically, clicking on that, users enable an integration between Salesforce CPQ and a Heroku server that will handle the calculation asynchronously. If the new calculation service is not authorized and this use legacy calculator is checked, then in this scenario, what Salesforce CPQ will do? Salesforce CPQ will use Apex to calculate the price for the code. Now we all know there are some governor limits when it comes to Apex. There are SQL limit, there are transaction limit, and there is a timeout limit as well. If a transaction is not committed within 10 seconds, there would be an error. So if there are large code, like a customer is selling, customer want more than 100 or 200 products. So we are going to add all those products in our code. In this scenario, the calculation may take longer than usual. So if the new calculation service is not enabled, we are still using the legacy calculator with Apex, there can be a chance we can hit governor limit here. So to avoid these kind of error, what we can do, or what sales rep can do, they can authorize new calculation services that will do the calculation asynchronously with a Heroku server. Now, how do we configure and grant permission to Salesforce CPQ? To modify CPQ objects and field, user must have a CPQ license. What we have to do, we have to follow the below steps to assign a license to the Salesforce user. From setup, again, we have to go to install packages. Then we have to click Salesforce CPQ and click on manage license. So same thing, let me click cancel here. Again, I'll go to install packages. I'll click manage license in Salesforce CPQ. Now, since we have installed this package using the trailhead link or using the dummy playground link provided by Salesforce CPQ, we can see this package has a site-wide license, which provide license to all the users in the org. You can grant access to any users via permission set, because this is our trailhead environment. But in a real environment, what we have to do, as soon as we click on manage license, we will get list of all the users available in our org, and then we can select the users to which we want to grant access, and that particular user will have the access, or will get the access to the org. Not to the org, that user will get access to the Salesforce CPQ package for this particular org. Now, additionally, so now after giving the license to the user, we also have to assign some permission sets. So the next step is to assign the permission set to the user. So basically there would be 4 type of users who would be using the Salesforce CPQ or who would be working on Salesforce CPQ. The first one would be admin user. Admin user are the user who are responsible to configure Salesforce CPQ. Then there are 2 permission sets for the admin user. The first one is Salesforce CPQ admin user, and the second one is Salesforce CPQ admin user access. These are the 2 permission set we are going to assign to a admin user. Then there is a user permission set that is for users who use Salesforce CPQ features to deliver services to customer or end user. So the users here are the normal sales user who would be generating a code, who would be forwarding or sending that code to the customer or to the end user. For those sales users, we have these 2 permission set. Either we can assign them Salesforce CPQ user or we can assign them Salesforce CPQ user access permission set. Then we have partner user. So if we are using channel model and we sell our products, we do not sell products directly to the customer, but we sell our products through a partner to the customer. In that scenario, what we will do to the partner users, we can assign a partner permission set, like Salesforce CPQ partner user, and then Salesforce CPQ partner user access. And the last one is customer. What we can do to the customer, if we want to give ability to our customer to directly generate a code from themselves, then for those customer users, what we can do, we can assign them these 2 permission set, Salesforce CPQ customer user or Salesforce CPQ customer user access permission set. Now, let's take a look of how Salesforce CPQ process flow works. So, as our normal Sales Cloud, whenever we are creating a deal or whenever we are generating a deal, the first step is to create an opportunity. So the first step will always remain the same. First opportunity needs to be created. Then from that particular opportunity, we are going to create a quote record. In that quote record, we are going to configure our products and add pricing and discount in that particular quote record. From that particular quote record, what we are going to do, we are going to generate a quote document or a PDF document. That PDF document we are going to send to our customer to sign digitally. Then we are going to generate contracts. Now, don't get confused here by the word contract. Contract does not indicate a legal binding between the customer and the company. Here, contract is just a record or just an object in Salesforce that will store the information about the services that the customer has, products and services that customer has purchased from us. Then from that particular quote, again, we can generate some add-on quotes and orders, and then we can renew the contract. What I mean by renew the contract, suppose a customer has purchased the Netflix subscription for 12 months. Now, after 12 months, that particular subscription needs to be renewed. Customer needs to pay again, then only he can use that subscription for the next 12 months. So that renewal will happen on contract. So we have to renew the contract. As soon as we renew the contract, again a renewal opportunity will be generated. Then the same cycle will go on. From that renewal opportunity, we will generate a renewal quote. In that renewal quote, we will configure the products and pricing. Then from that renewal quote, we will generate a PDF document. Then we will send that particular PDF document to the customer for online signature. Then again, a new contract record will be generated. From that contract, again, we will renew the contract and again a renewal opportunity will generate. So these process will go in a loop until and unless customer has decided he does not want to move forward with, or he does not want to move forward with the product or does not want to continue the service. Now let's do one thing. Let's log into our developer org and see how this process looks like, or how this uh, Salesforce CPQ process flow looks like. So what I'm going to do, let me log into the developer org. Okay, so in this developer org or in this developer environment, let me go to any account. So I'm not going to create a lead and convert that lead to an account. Let's do one thing. Let's directly start with an account. I'm going to name it 𝗬𝗬𝗄𝗏 account. Save. And now for this account, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create an opportunity. I'm going to name same thing. Close it. Now, from this opportunity, we are going to generate a code. So I'll click on new code here. I'll make the code primary. I'm going to give a start date of today, subscription term of 12, and save. Okay, now my code record is ready. Now, from this code, what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on edit lines here. As soon as I click on edit lines, I'll see this particular page. I'm going to use the standard price book here. I'm going to click on save. Now, as soon as I click here, I'll see this page where I can add products. So I'm going to click on add products button. What I'm going to do, I'm going to add two products, one laptop product. Let me add this one, 𝗬𝗬𝗀𝗏 demo laptop. I'm going to add this product. And I'm going to add another product here that would be a subscription product. So let me add a Netflix subscription here. Add products. Netflix annual subscription. So what I have done, I have added two products to my code. The first product is a demo laptop and another one is annual subscription. Now I can see what is my total here is. The total amount is 2,900, 2,700 US dollar for the laptop and 200 US dollar for the Netflix annual subscription. Now I'm going to click on save here. Now what the sales rep will do, or what's the next step from here is they will generate a PDF document. To generate a PDF document, let me change the status to approve here. Now there would be a button called generate document. Sales rep will click on this generate document button. Template, they can choose any. So let me select 𝗬𝗬𝗄𝗏 template. Output format would be PDF. Paper size would be default. And let me click on save. I'm not going to save an email because I'm not going to email this to any customer. So if I click on save an email, I'll get an option to add the email address of my customer, and then the PDF document would be emailed to the customer. So I'm just going to click on save. Okay, let me go to related. Let me go to quote again. Click on generate document again. 𝗬𝗏𝗀𝗃 PDF review. Okay, so this is how the code document will look like. Here I will see my company logo. I can see my company address, some basic information, when this code has been created, who created this code, how till when this code is valid, the bill to and ship to information, and the list of the products or the offerings that we are going to sell to the customer. So one hardware product we are selling, 𝗬𝗏𝗀𝗃 demo laptop. One service that we are giving to our customer, Netflix annual subscription, and then we have some terms and conditions here, and then we have a signature block and effective date. If we integrate Salesforce CPQ with either Adobe Sign or DocuSign, we will get one more button here that we can click on, and then we can what we can do, we can send our code through to the customer for electronic signature or for e-signature. Okay, so now let's assume we have forwarded this particular template to the customer, and customer signed this code and reverted back saying that he wants to move forward, or he wants to close the opportunity, or he wants to purchase the product. Now, what's the next step from Salesforce end would be, we will go to this opportunity. Sales rep is going to mark this opportunity as closed one. So the opportunity would be marked as closed one. Now, the next step from here is they will have to come back to this particular code and check this order checkbox. Now, before checking this order checkbox, you can see this code is marked as primary. So what I mean by primary is, or what we mean by marking a code as primary is, if we see there are two code lines related to this code, that means we have added two products, 𝗬𝗏𝗀𝗃 demo laptop and Netflix annual subscription to this particular code. Now, when we mark code as primary, what happened? Whatever information is here on this code in the code line section, those information will go to the opportunity as opportunity products. Now, reason behind this primary checkbox, the relationship between code and opportunity is parent to child or child to parent. So where opportunity is a parent and code is child. So one opportunity can have multiple codes. Now, all those codes can have different products. So whichever code is marked as primary, the product information from that particular code will come to opportunity as opportunity products. Okay, so that's the reason of using this primary checkbox. Now, after marking an opportunity closed one, what a sales rep will do, sales rep will click on this order checkbox, click on save. As soon as this order checkbox is checked, we can see one order is generated for this particular code. Whatever information is there on the code, that information will populate it on the order. So we had two code lines. We can see two order line items have been generated. Then this order record, this could be assigned to the order fulfillment team, who is responsible, or who will be responsible for shipping the order or providing the products and services to the customer. So basically, order we can understand is a commitment, or order record is a commitment that we have committed to our customer, saying that we would be delivering, or we would be providing you these products and services on the below date. Now, let me click on activated. Now, if I see, or if you guys see here, there is this contracted checkbox on order record. If we check this contracted checkbox, then a contract record would be created for the customer. So I'm going to check this contracted checkbox. Now, as of now, what we are doing, we are checking all these checkboxes manually. We check the order checkbox manually, then we check this contractor checkbox manually, and then those checkboxes are performing their operations. Now, we can also automate it. Like as soon as the opportunity is closed one, we can create a flow that will automatically check the order checkbox on the primary code. Same thing, as soon as the order is activated, we can automatically check the contracted checkbox on order. As soon as the contracted checkbox is checked, we can see a contract record has been generated. If I open this contract record, you will see one variation here. What that is, you will see there is only one product added as a subscription here. On our code, there was two products. So if I go to this particular code, on this particular code, we had these two products. We had the demo laptop and we had the Netflix subscription. But when I go to this contract here, I can see only one product added or only one subscription product. The reason behind this, the contract will only store the information about the subscription product. All the hardware products that we have sold to the customer, those hardware products will go to the account as asset related list. So if I go to this account, let me open this 𝗬𝗧 of demo account. If I go to related list, there is a related list of asset, this asset, and all the hardware products that we have that will go to this asset related list on account. All the subscription product that we have sold to our customer will go to the subscription related list on contract. Now, this contract would be used for creating a renewal opportunities. The reason hardware products are going to asset, because the asset does not needs to be renewed. Once the product has been sold to the customer, the product will remain active with the customer for life. But when it comes to subscription product needs to be renewed. Hence, subscription information will go to the contract record or contract object. Now, how do we generate a renewal opportunity? So there is this checkbox called renewal forecast. Ideally, this renewal forecast checkbox is checked as soon as the contract is activated. Let me do one thing. Let me change the contract status to activated. Now we can write an automation. As soon as the contract status has been changed to activated, we can check this renewal forecast checkbox. Now, as soon as this renewal forecast checkbox is checked, a renewal opportunity would be generated. This renewal opportunity will have the information about the product that needs to be renewed. So you can see the Netflix annual subscription that needs to be renewed. Amount is 200 USD and the close date is next year, 11th March 2025. So the reason this renewal opportunity is created is because of forecasting reason, so that we can check, okay, this much revenue we can expect in next quarter or next year. So the reason to generate a renewal opportunity as soon as the contract is activated, just for forecasting reasons, so we can see, okay, how much forecast or how much revenue is expected in next month or next quarter or next year. Now, if you see, as of now, only renewal opportunity is generated. There is no renewal code. Now, to generate a renewal code, what we need to do here on this contract, we have to click edit, or we have to check this renewal quoted checkbox. As soon as this renewal quoted checkbox is checked, a renewal code would be generated against this renewal opportunity. So I'm going to check this renewal quoted. Click on save. Now, if I go back to the renewal opportunity, refresh the page, I can see a renewal code has been generated. This renewal code again have the amount of 200 US dollar. And if I click on edit lines, Okay, I can see there is already this Netflix annual subscription is added. The start date is next year, and again it will remain active for 12 months. Now the same step would be performed from here. Sales rep is going to click on generate document. Then again sales rep will generate a PDF document. Let's say this one, 𝗬𝗏𝗀𝗏 review. This PDF document would be sent to the customer again. Then if customer agrees to buy, then same thing. We will mark this renewal opportunity as closed one. We are going to click on save. Then the next step, we will go to the primary quote. We are going to check this order checkbox on the primary quote. As soon as the order checkbox is checked, there would be an order record generated. So if we'll come here, I'll open this order. Now I'm going to mark this order as activated. Once the order is activated, again, I am going to check this contractor checkbox, and checking this contractor checkbox is again going to generate a contract for us. So okay, a contract record is generated. Now the same thing here, this contract will have a start date and end date. This time it has the start date of 2025 and end date of 2026. We can see one related subscription here, and details again, we can perform the same thing. We can change the status to activated and click on save here. Then again, we can see a renewal opportunity is generated. By default, whenever a renewal opportunity is generated, the name of that opportunity would be renewal opportunity. We can write a flow or a trigger in our OR that will rename this renewal opportunity to a better name or better naming convention. So this is how Salesforce CPQ process flow works. Okay, so that's what we have scheduled for demo today. Let me do one thing. Let me show you the topic, or let me show you the table of content that we are going to cover as part of this training. So basically the training will run around something 30 to 35 hours to complete the complete Salesforce CPQ from start to end. We would be going through all the configuration that Salesforce CPQ provides as a part of our training. So we'll start with some basic introduction, some pre-assessment. Then we are going to take a look what Salesforce CPQ is, what are the benefits of Salesforce CPQ, then how do we install Salesforce CPQ package, what are the prerequisites. Then we will go to what are the different type of products, then how do we configure the products. Then there would be some hands-on exercise. Then we will move forward to bundle configuration, product options, features, option layout. These are all the topics inside a bundle. Then we will go to the pricing. What are the different type of pricing available in Salesforce CPQ? What price waterfall are? What are the difference between list price, block price, POT price? Then we'll go to the MDQ part. We will check how custom action guided selling works in Salesforce CPQ, how we can use a screen flow in code line editor. Then we will go to the different type of attributes, what global attributes are, what inline attributes are. Then we will take a look on product rules. What are the different type of product rules? Then same thing, there are price rules. So we'll take a look on price rule and summary variables as well. Then, as I told you in the start, there is a package that we can install with Salesforce CPQ, that is advanced approval. So we are going to take a look on advanced approval installation as well. Then we are going to take a look on how amendment and renewal works. Then there would be some hands-on exercise on all the topics that we are going to cover. Then there would be an introduction to Salesforce billing, what Salesforce billing is, how Salesforce billing works. Then there would be a class for Adobe Sign integration, as I told you. Salesforce CPQ provides point and click integration with Adobe Sign. So yeah, there would be a session for Adobe Sign or DocuSign integration. Then there would be a session on how we will migrate the legacy data. Then there would be a session on Salesforce CPQ deployment. And that would be our last topic to cover. After that, there would be some post-assessment test. And then Salesforce CPQ specialist certification discussion. So what we are going to help, we are going to also help you to overcome this or to complete the Salesforce CPQ certification. So we will be providing you some MCQ questions, or there would be a discussion session where you can clear your doubts regarding the CPQ certification, and we will go through the MCQ questions together. Like let me show you if I have. So yep. So these are some MCQ questions that I would be sharing with you. There are answer marked for all the questions. So these questions would be shared with you at the end of the training. And then if you have any question or any doubt related to these questions, then in our last session or when we have a session for certification discussion, we will go through each and every doubt one by one. Then throughout this course, I would be giving you some assessment or scenario like this. So daily, like whatever topics we are going to complete in a day, I'll give you, let's suppose this is scenario 4 for option constraint. Let's suppose we covered the option constraint in tomorrow's class or day after tomorrow's class. Then once we cover the option constraint topic, I'll give you the scenario. You have to create this bundle. These are the features and option in this bundle. And then this is the use case 1 and use case 2. Same thing, this is scenario, you have to create a second bundle, and for the second bundle, what are the use cases? So after each and every day or after each and every session, you would be getting some scenarios from me, and that you have to complete in your developer org, so that you also have some hands-on training to the to Salesforce CPQ. What we will also provide you, let me check if I have it. Okay. Notes. Okay. So what I have done for each and every topic, I have created a note or I have created a well typed document. Let's say, let's go to this guided selling. So for this guided selling, you can see this is the document that I have prepared. So in this document, you can see what guided selling is, what are the steps to create a guided selling. Then there is an example of a guided selling. And then there are steps how to complete or how to make that guided selling work. So there are screenshots as well of the org. So this is also I'm going to share with you after we complete each and every topic. A document related to that particular topic will be shared with you along with the PPT. So if you see here, we have all the documents like this one. If I open Adobe Sign integration, again, there are all the steps mentioned with the screenshot, how you can implement Adobe Sign in your playground or in your environment. So these documents would be shared with you on regular basis. So daily, what we are planned. So daily we are going to create, we are going to complete one topic. There would be an assessment related to that particular topic that you have to cover. I would be sharing the documents related to that topic daily. And then we will plan to complete the Salesforce CPQ within next 30 to 35 session. So that's all I had for the demo today. I'll take a pause. If someone have any question, you guys can feel free to ask or you can raise your hand. Anyone? Okay. So
I have a question. Wait.
yes.
this you said CPQ is used only for in Sales Cloud or in any other platform, right?
No, no,
In
no.
your model.
So you cannot install Salesforce CPQ in a marketing cloud enabled or
Okay.
Salesforce CPQ can only be installed on top of Sales Cloud. If you do
Sales
not
Cloud
have
only.
Sales Cloud license or you do not have Sales Cloud in your Salesforce environment, then you would not be able to install Salesforce CPQ.
Okay. So do we need to know the Sales Cloud also? For that we learned the Sales Cloud also? It's not
So you
necessary,
don't
right?
have to learn Sales Cloud. So if you know just three basic things: how to create an opportunity, how price book works, okay, and how opportunity products and how you add opportunity products. That's it. So opportunity products, and price book. If you have knowledge to these three concepts, then you are good to learn Salesforce CPQ. You don't have to learn Sales Cloud in detail or in depth. You just have to know some basic things: how price book association work, how products get added through to the opportunity product. Those basic information. That's it.
And for SFTC also CPQ is needed?
After CPQ?
For SFTC, for that also CPQ is needed?
No, for SFDC, I did not get your question, Zafar.
The SFTC, the Salesforce Commerce Cloud,
Okay.
for that also the CPQ is needed?
No. For Commerce Cloud, Salesforce CPQ is not needed.
CPQ is not needed. Okay.
So Salesforce CPQ comes under Revenue Cloud.
Revenue Cloud, okay.
Correct. There are two packages, Salesforce CPQ and Salesforce Billing. These two packages comes under Revenue Cloud. Commerce Cloud, that is the completely different. Marketing Cloud, that is completely different. Revenue Cloud is completely different, but the Revenue Cloud is dependent on Sales Cloud. So first sales needs to happen, then only we can count the revenue.
Okay.
Okay. Any other question you have?
Nothing. Okay, I'll just.
Okay. Anything from your end, Ritesh?
I'm good, Rishabh.
Okay. Okay. Then I think we are good to close our session for today. So I'm going to stop my sharing. We'll close our call for today. Yes.
We are generally getting like CPQ with Velocity Omni Studio requirements in the market. That's the current trend here in USA.
Okay.
Any idea about that? Like, how are you going to integrate?
So there are basically two Salesforce CPQ. First one is the SteelBrick CPQ that we are going to cover. So now Salesforce CPQ has acquired the SteelBrick CPQ, and that is now known as Salesforce CPQ. Okay.
Okay.
The CPQ with Omni Studio is Velocity CPQ. So that is different with SteelBrick CPQ that we are going to cover in this particular class. But if you have the knowledge of SteelBrick CPQ, then it would be a lot easier for you to learn the Velocity CPQ, because you have to know the fundamentals, how bundles work, how price book associations work. So it is great to have the SteelBrick CPQ knowledge first before you move forward to the Velocity CPQ.
Achha, okay. So are we covering Velocity CPQ here or just the...
No, we are only going to cover the SteelBrick CPQ as part of this training.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Okay. Thank you, Ritesh.
Thank you so much.
Any further questions, you can connect with Kishore from 𝗬𝗎 TechSoft, and he'll be able to answer your question.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
Okay, then. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining the call. Hope we will see you soon.
Thank you.